Today, this is what we're going to be making. We have the turkey patties, we have the bread stuffing, the whole grain natural brown rice, and for sweet, we have fried plantain. So let's go ahead and get started. Yes, today we have ground turkey. We actually have the ingredients in front here before we even get started. In front here, we have the ground turkey. That's the sweet honey craft barbecue sauce. We have the breadcrumbs with the Italian style and has in Romano cheese. Then of course we have the adobo, the one with the salt. We have ground cumin. This is some onion powder, black pepper, parsley, oregano, McCormick, brown sugar and bourbon, garlic, maced, and then we have the Mexican. That's Romano and cheddar. And last but not least, the honey Dijon mustard. And of course, we have the pan in order to do it. What we're going to do is mix all these ingredients with the ground turkey. When I say ground turkey, I wanted to say something lean because I know most of the time you use ground beef. And yes, you could use chicken. But even a little leaner, you can always go a step further and go ground turkey. Especially when you do something that's a little bit supposed to be healthy setting. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is actually start with the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients will be all the different seasonings that are not liquid, and you do it in moderation because it depends on how much you put in is what you actually gonna get out of it. If you feel you need more garlic, then pour in more garlic. If you feel you need more onion, pour in more onion. Depends on your flavor and what you prefer, but I'm just showing you like the basics. I just did the adobo. This one is the onion powder. The black pepper I want to do last because I want to actually be able to see it. This one is the original. You just eyeball it because you can't really put, you could do the teaspoons and stuff, but really and truly, there's no ideal as far as what you want in it unless you want to visualize how you want it to taste and then take it from there. This one is actually the McCormick brown sugar and bourbon. Then of course we have the cumin. Not familiar with the cumin as much, so I don't want to put in too much. I don't want nothing to be overbearing. Just enough to have it in there. Does smell really good. And now we have the parsley. These are parsley flakes. You always want to incorporate those kind of herbs into it. Give it a nice flavor. And of course we have the brown breadcrumbs with the Romano cheese in it already. You just want to eyeball that. Put how much you think would be needed. You don't have to overdo it and pour in a large amount, because I would throw off the taste of everything else. This is the minced garlic. So you seem to put most of the items in. And of course we have a little extra because when it comes to lean meats like turkey, they need a little extra oomph compared to if it was chicken or beef. So you need a little extra in terms of the flavor and the different spices because it's a very lean, and with the herbs and spices it gives a nice flavor. Since we already have the barbecue sauce, we're using the sweet honey barbecue sauce from Kraft. You're just going to put some in there one time. You could feel free to use ketchup, but I want to give a different kind of spice, but not too hot and not too lean because the meat already, the ground turkey is already lean, so you want to spice it up. Do something a little different. That's where the honey Dijon mustard comes in versus just the regular mustard or the regular Dijon by itself. This is actually honey Dijon mustard. And then we put in some of that too. As you can see, the different seasoning that's in there. At this point, you may want to put in an egg. If you don't, always use egg whites and take it from there. So that's the basics in terms of every ingredient I had before that I already placed inside. Okay, so now we have the eggs. This is what we're currently using. This is the farm French egglands best. One of the main reasons I like this is because it says right here, vegetarian fed hens is not as same as the regular eggs because it has 125 milligrams omega-3s, 25% less sugar trans fat than regular eggs. And of course it lists all the different vitamins from D, E, B2, B12, B5. So, and I got the large. 18 eggs that's inside. One of the main reasons you can tell with these eggs is I always have this EB on here. Each one of them has them on there. So then now we have the 2 eggs here. We're going to go ahead and add it to the mixture and use our hands so it might get a little bit mucky. So once we do that and we form into patties, then we'll be right back. Okay, so now we're on the good part. We already have them in the oil, of course. We're going to let it fry on. Now when you say healthy, yeah, sometimes we talk about baking, put it in the oven, having it heated instead of deep frying it like how I'm doing. I have olive oil. That would be an alternative to using vegetable oil or canola or something else. And that's all part of doing something different in terms of trying to stay healthy and a busy schedule. Of course, when it comes to the patties, I actually use the breading to help them to stay together. Because sometimes when you put them in, they tend to piece apart and then it'll be like crumbs and it'll be all over and it won't stay as a patty like type of shape. So that's when you actually want to apply the breading. So the breading on the outside gets a little brown and the inside actually cooks a little bit better. Versus if you had done it a different way and then it comes to crumbs and then nothing stays together. Another thing you want to do is always have your napkin so you could drain that some of that oil. So when you want to do that, some people say, oh, you can't eat a certain way, you can't prepare your food a certain way. You can, it just depends on what kind of fats, what type of spices, and what kind of things you put into the meal can make a big difference. Because you don't want to take out of what you eat in trans fat and fat altogether. That's not the idea. The idea is to do things in moderation and still do things that you actually enjoy in terms of eating healthy. So that have a nice color on there. Not too dark, not too light. So I'm going to cook all the way through. Okay, so here we have the finished product. As you see, is the little sauce in there. We have some sweet and sour. We have a few that has regular ketchup on there. Doesn't have to be GMO ketchup, just regular ketchup. And then we have some that's plain. Of course, over here we have some plantain. We're going to give it a little fry. And behind here we have, of course, the natural whole grain brown rice for Uncle Ben. That's what we have over here boiling away. If you go a little further over here, we have the bread stuffing. Of course, it has a little darker color because instead of using water and butter, we actually use something else to give a nice rich flavor. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take these plantain and get those started because sometimes it's a little bit sweet. You always want to get those nice and ripe. And you always want to get them when they're a little darker in terms of the color of the plantain. Because sometimes you have green banana and then they have plantain. And they have regular bananas. This is plantain. I want to add that to the dish. Give it a little extra. Instead of all being plain. Yes, it is a treat. And yes, it might not be as healthy as it should be. But plantains are actually sweet. And there's no harm in getting something nice in your meal that might not be as heart healthy as everything else we put in your body. Because some people are under the impression you have to take away everything and leave all these bland dishes, and I really don't agree with it. I believe if it has a lot of spices and flavors in it, you're actually going to eat it. If it's too plain, and as I like to say, bland, you're not going to go for it. Because we like things that taste good. If it don't taste good, then it's not going to work. Because if it don't taste good and it don't work, guess what? You're not going to be consistent with eating healthy. You're actually going to get to the point where you start for a while and then you go back to the regular ways, which might not be the most healthiest thing to do. Because you don't want to go ahead and shock your body and not have something that you like to eat. The whole purpose of staying healthy and eating foods is so that you can actually eat foods that you enjoy, that's good for your body, and you're not taken away from it. So it's just starting to get a little soft, the natural whole grain brown rice, but it's not quite there yet. You can tell because it gets a little darker. When I say darker, it's a lot more in terms of expansion, because it won't be this big. Once it starts expanding, then you know, like, yeah, it's on its way to cooking, because when it starts, it's going to be hard. First we'll get a little whip on some of these plantains. The rest of them have to take a little longer. So like mine is a little golden. And as far as what you see over here with the rice, I'm just going to put a cover halfway on so the steam can escape from it. So you have the bowl, this side over here and this side over here that's still open. And as far as, like I say, preparation, so you have the napkin over here. That's for when you finish the plantain and you just put them in. So go drain off some of that oil. I haven't tried this recipe before, so this is the first time trying the turkey this way. Most of the time when I do turkey, it's either ground or turkey balls. Now the actually patties. It's similar to the salmon patty, but the salmon patty has a lot less ingredients versus the turkey one. Because the turkey is light, it's lean. It needs a little bit more health in this area of having a nice taste. Some people like to incorporate other things, because I know I did a video in the past about my turkey burgers and I had in brown sugar bacon, which was really nice. Leave a late emphasis on giving it something extra, but this time we went something a little bit more natural, does not incorporate with too much other extra stuff. Now some of the things I did mention in terms of what I put in terms of the seasoning, the beginning part of the video. Some of those are inflammatory things you use in terms of keeping it low, whether it be the parsley, the garlic, the onion, those items. In terms of having inflammatory foods, those are some of the things. So one of the main reasons I put ketchup on this, because tomato is another inflammatory food. So you use regular tomatoes, tomato sauce. At this stage I'm using ketchup because I just want pepper sauce with it. I don't want it to be dry, because I didn't actually go ahead and make a complete sauce and it's not swimming in sauce and it's not marinated in sauce. So you add the sauce at the end, because it actually has a nice coating of breading on the outside. So still working on my plantains and be done in real time. I don't like to cook it too much at high fire. See that golden nice color to it? Oh yeah. So we have the turkey patties, the natural whole grain brown rice, the plantain, and of course the stuffing. And this is the finished product with the turkey patties, the bread stuffing, the rice, the brown rice, and the plantains. So next time, Miss Sitara from Sparkling Memories. Bye-bye.